This podcast contains themes that are unsuitable for younger listeners and parental guidance is advised.
It's been 30 years since they came. 30 years? No! They took my child! 30 years? I'm gonna kill you. No! It's been 30 years since they came.
I was 12 when they came. And oh, I will never forget that day. Oh God, no. That day I bunked off school. Oh God, I remember that plan. I remember that plan all too well. Now, I had double games, double physics, and double German. What a shit day. Always Friday. Friday, oh my God. It just seems like such a ball ache of a day. Year 7, new to the school, and they give you double for a Friday. What absolute bastards. So I thought, fuck it. I bunked the day. I bunked off. I went round to the park just behind the school. Mainly because I didn't have enough imagination to go that far afield. But also, I knew that because I was such a dickhead back then, I probably would have got caught. So if I was going to get caught, I might as well have a short distance to get back to school, because I was lazy back then. You know, what 12-year-old isn't lazy? Funny. I look back to those old days sometimes, and I do remember, and I do smile. Remember my friends and everything. The laughs that we used to get up to, checking out the girls, etc. Being a right bunch of dicks down at the shopping centre on a weekend or after school. Those were good days. But those days were all gone. All gone. I sat down on a bench overlooking the lake on the field behind the school. I was looking at the ducks, thinking, oh God, I'm here on my own with a load of ducks. There was nothing to do. So I couldn't even go home. Couldn't go home because Mum and Dad were at home. They never worked a day in their life. Dad was on something like JSA. No, he changed to something. Universal something or other. Can't quite remember. I mean, that was 30 years ago. I'm now 42. 42, older, smarter, and sometimes stupider. Battered and bruised, scarred, but still, I'm alive. I look back on that day. The day that I was bunking off. I looked up from the lake and I saw this ring appear in the sky. And when I say ring, I mean it was a massive giant ring, blazing with red and yellow and flaring off even black colours as well. Black colours. And then all of a sudden there was an explosion and it shook the ground. I mean, it was that high up, but it still shook the ground. It knocked me off my bloody bench. All the ducks, all the birds, they're all going absolutely sick. Absolutely horrendous noises they were making. Oh my God, they were. I never heard anything like that in my life before, and I probably never hear it ever again. And then this ring filled up with colour. It was a flary red and a flary orange and black and purples filling up this whole ring. And then all of a sudden, ship after ship after ship came down, came through that ring. Oh my God, I'd never seen anything like that before, and I'll never see it again. It's as though the whole Imperial Anunaki fleet came through, because that's probably all of it. Maybe not. Maybe that was just one division of a massive intergalactic fleet. I don't know, I've never been off Earth. I've never left the planet. But all these ships come out. You had mother ships, you had transport ships, you had attack ships, you had artillery ships, the whole lot, all spewing out of this hole in the sky, ship after ship. And then all those attack ships, they all came down first, and they rained fire and lasers and heat and bullets. Maybe, probably not, I was 12 at the time, so a bit of an exaggeration there. So yeah, it was definitely an exaggeration there. But you know, you get the picture. You get the picture well. The Earth fell in 2 hours. 2 hours. They beat us in 2 hours. All the world's militaries couldn't cope. They couldn't penetrate the shields that all these ships had. Even the attack ships. Even the fighters. They all were shielded. And our bullets just bounced off them. Our missiles just bounced off them, and their energy weapons just rained heavy fire on us. All the major cities damaged, all the strategic places destroyed. And then, an hour into the 2 hour decimation of Earth, you had these massive landers, and they landed in every school field. And I watched in horror as all my schoolmates, all the bullies, everyone just getting dragged out. The teachers, oh my God. I remember this, all the teachers, they were lined up and they were executed in front of all the kids. I have to say, I shit myself. I proper shit myself. I've never seen anyone get killed before, and then all of a sudden, all the teachers, the good teachers, all the way through to the arsehole teachers, they all got executed, shot in the face with a laser. Bam, they were dead before they hit the floor. And then all the kids were then ordered. They ordered them all onto the landers. And lander after lander went up in the sky. And all my friends, all my school friends, all the kids I didn't even know, all the bullies, everyone, they got taken up to a mothership and never seen again. And they didn't just do it to my school, they did it to every school. Every child was taken. Every child that was old enough to do some work was taken. All of them. It's a good thing that I chose to bunk that day, or I would have had the same fate as them, and I wouldn't be talking to you now. Oh no. I don't know what they did to those kids. All I know is that by going through the portal in the sky, they'll be in Anunaki territory within seconds, instantaneous. It's a wormhole, that portal. A proper wormhole that'll take you to another part of the galaxy. I don't know where. I don't even know how it works. But I know what it does. And ships come and go all the time. You see it. You just look up and you see it. Now, how is it that I've reached to the age of 42 and not get captured? Well, that is because of the people that I bumped into over the years. One of which was the man in black. Oh God, that man in black. You'll know him as the old man now because he is old. He was one of my neighbours actually. One of my neighbours. That old man started the resistance because they took his kid and they murdered his wife, and he'll never forgive them, and he would stop at nothing, and yet he still fights. He's always in the field at the moment. He's away on a mission right now. He's in his 70s now. He's in his 70s, and he'll go around and he'll butcher, proper butcher these fucking Anunnaki. And if he gets hold of a Nephilim, oh God, he sees the Nephilim as traitors to their own kind, because they are pretty much the same as us. They just have a few splices of genetic code which lets them use the Anunnaki technology. And that's it. That's all it goes. It's just a genetic code. Because Anunnaki technology can't be used by humans. It can't. It's all genetically activated. All the guns, the weapons, the vehicles, the spaceships, the tanks, everything. Computers, the lot. It's all done and operated by genetic code. And Anunnaki and Nephilim only can use it. And the old man, he sees these Nephilim as traitors, because that's all it is. They just got the keys to the kingdom. That's it. That's it. Humans with the keys. And Nephilim infuriate the old man. They really do. So if you're a Nephilim and you're listening to this, you want to hope that you're on our side, because the old man will see you as a traitor and he'll kill you there and then. Oh, he will kill you there and then. He didn't want to be a Nephilim. He didn't even know he was one. But that makes his child a Nephilim. And that's why they took his child. He was young. He was like 3 years old. He didn't meet the spec. Didn't meet the spec at all of being a slave. They took 10-year-olds and above. Anyone below 10, they were left. It was pointless. A 9-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old doing long physical labour wasn't going to happen. So why take his 3-year-old? That's right, because his 3-year-old was a Nephilim, and they could bend and change that Nephilim's mind into one of them. And that's another reason why he hates the Nephilim. He hates people like himself. And he sees those people as traitors. Wow. It'd be an interesting time. It's been a long 30 years. Been a long 30 years, but we will get there. We will win this fight. For you have to kill each and every Anunnaki and Nephilim. We will. We will. And we will get our life back, and we will get our world back. And one day the old man will probably get his kid back, but to be honest, it's not likely. He hopes. He always hopes. That's what keeps him alive. He's in his 70s and he's still fighting. And don't get me wrong, he's every bit as deadly and as brutal as he always has been. In fact, the older he gets, the more brutal he becomes. And his reasoning behind it is if he doesn't act as brutal in his old age, then they're going to kill him. So he just goes in twice as hard every single time. Oh, it is brutal. And the old man, oh my God, he is a piece of work. There's lots of stories about the old man, and we'll go into those another day.
Thank you for listening. Please come back next week for the next episode. If you've enjoyed this podcast, why not check out our other podcast, A Tribute to Men That Hate Their Jobs, which is a brutal but witty portrayal of working a job you hate. In this podcast, there are themes explored in which happy workers simply wouldn't understand, unless they listen to these cautionary tales from a man that lost his ideal job because of the global pandemic. Be warned that this podcast contains strong and offensive language that some listeners may not want to hear. In addition, this podcast is not recommended for younger audiences. All our podcasts are available on YouTube. Just search for the musterxmedia podcast channel. In addition, you can also find our podcasts on Amazon Music, Red Circle Podcasts, Stitcher and Spotify. We also have another YouTube channel called The X Review. This is a review and reaction channel. Not only is it on YouTube, but it is also on Brand YouTube, BitChute and Rumble. You can also find us on Facebook, Gab, Twitter and Parler. All the links are in the description below.